Speaking on this team, their record 4-2 says a lot. I mean, this is a team that started off really well, couple wins, couple losses, and they're ending off on another win heading into this week. That is going to be a little bit of back and forth. It's going to give them a little bit of a boost heading into this game versus St. Lawrence and a real chance to maybe seize hold of their opportunities going into the playoffs.
That's fair, right? This Montclair State University squad, made up of Noah, Saga, Mnemonics, Vera Heat, and Hasty. I think they've been doing well, right? Some bumps in the road. Let's not pretend, but
Yeah.
they're near the top of the standings here in the Emergence Northeast B division. But let's take a peek at their opposition because CMoore, here's the reality: St. Lawrence University, they've done even better. They come in 5-1 to this matchup, and they have been taking names. And honestly, I don't see a world where they're stopping.
No, I don't either. And I think the biggest head to head between the two for St. Lawrence is the matchups versus Cornell University White. St. Lawrence, they beat them 2-0. MSU, they lost 2-1. So it's very kind of stark parallels there where you're kind of digging deep to find that information to kind of separate these two teams. But again, it kind of leads back to, if St. Lawrence wins here, it really secures themselves. But if they drop down, kind of opens up this division for a whole lot of shenanigans. So let's take a look at where this best of three is going to be taking us. Let's take a look where the setting is going to lay down, and we get to see Lotus, Ascent, and Bind.
Yeah, and honestly, this is just another version of El Clasico at this point. We've seen a bunch of Lotus over this season here at the NECC, and Ascent. As much as we've been talking about it being a little bit boring, sometimes it's good. Let you get back to basics and such. Where Bind, honestly, don't even want to think about it until which point we get there because there's a lot to break down prior to that. One thing to note, by the way, the lack of Icebox, I feel like a ton of teams have been going the Icebox direction, and so not seeing it here is a little bit of a surprise to me. That being said, I think that Lotus is going to be a proving ground, both in way for St. Lawrence, right? See what they're made of, considering the fact that they elect to pick this map. I think that that's going to allow them to set the tone for this series. But in general, right, Lotus can be a place where you set up for what's or are putting together something that works together well, even if it's not the most met.
Let's take a look at the agents that we are going to get for Lotus, Vincent. St. Lawrence opting in for the Rays Omen, Killjoy, Fade, and Breach. We get to see the Breach, Fade, Cypher, Rays, and Omen on the side of MSU. So the difference is here being the Cypher and the Killjoys for both of these teams. Something that a lot of teams do kind of toss up. Some prefer the Cypher, some prefer the Killjoy, and it is very interchangeable on a map like Lotus. But if you are going to opt in to bringing the Cypher into this map, you need to see them get a little bit tricky with it. See if you can, especially on the defensive side.
Yeah, I'm actually favoring the Killjoy a little bit on paper, but I think what's actually really interesting to me is the fade. I feel like we haven't been seeing that oh so consistently, especially with the double initiator though. That looks like a whole lot of fun. So if we look to get into the action, it's a lot of presence towards B for MSU to begin with.
Dollar bill falling off right away. He's just listening, and Virgo leading in with this raise. You see the initiators are going to look to scout for some information, but it's a nice re-clear from Dollar Bill. Actually gets rid of Saga, and that is going to be an opening now for St. Lawrence to hopefully slow down this plant, but Vero Health and Numo going to be able to continue. MS White looking to take control of B. They work through Link. They push on out, and unfortunately it's not going to work in their favor. Kako is going to trade it. The 2 versus 3, and Mom has now headed over to C.
And they're going to adjust that plan as well. Noah, just ensuring that everybody has positioning on that. The retake, it's already begun very slow because you got to re-clear all these angles. You never know where one of the attackers can just be chilling here, waiting around the corner or in a smoke, for example. And that's going to delay things further. This is well played from MSU for the most part.
Really is. Good Gak. Gonna bring this back into a 2v2. Nice clear there onto Noah, but They have the read on both members stacked over towards the shelf. They do not. Vero's finding 4 in the pistol, and MSU take our first round on the attacking side.
Very nicely done indeed. And yeah, a 4K, it's certainly going to be strong, but actually just the way that they were moving as a team sets Vero Heat up for that. Got to hit the shots, obviously, credit where it's due, but Montclair doing a good job of not being too committed to their initial decision. Right? A lot of teams kind of get stuck in the dirt when it comes to, okay, we've called this, that's what we're doing. Not going to be the case here for Montclair, which I like to see.
An early Vandal coming out from Vero, looking to at least stomp out any idea for St. Louis. That's going to come out inside of the second round, and they are going to go for a little bit of pressure here to A. You do have the Shrouded Staff going to make some noise, and it looks like Tidgek and Kago going to immediately call for smoke to reposition and get set up for these oncoming players.
Around like this one, a little bit of surprise is going to be important. Contact will be made, and see the setup right now, not seriously, was ready to swing off Tidgek. Not too far behind the rest of the players towards the site. None of that's going to happen, though. All of that is just a precursor to what is going to be the C hit. Back to what worked in the pistol round. Montclair. We're going to find nobody home. That A-site stack. Let's end up finding nothing whatsoever. And it's tough, CMoore, because it's just a gamble. Sometimes that's gonna fall by the wayside. You're not gonna make that happen. But I did really like the setup that St. Lawrence were putting down. Simple, but effective in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think in a different world, you can look at that setup that was there for St. Louis, and you can see how passive the smoke was thrown down after the ult orb was collected, and understand that that was not going to be an execute over towards A, but it just didn't seem like St. Louis had that understanding. So they're going to have the wrong read, the wrong call, and now no chance to win the second round. Not seriously has somehow slipped their way onto the site, so they're looking to do some damage with the exit to the weaponry of MSU. Hasty's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Lots of people die to the spike, but one person gets out from St. Louis, 2 from MSU White, as Montclair start off 2-0.
Not actually ideal for any St. Lawrence players to get out there. It's a little bit unfortunate. You don't really want to be getting out. Look at the amount of cash on Kago, who's the one who got stuck back, but
It's a little awkward.
it is what it is. Yeah, a little bit. We'll have a Marshall in hand instead of a rifle, but what it does do here for MSU is instead of having a bonus, now they just have more of a half-buy round. They don't really have any rifles. It's a couple of SMGs and pistols as well. Now, a lot of times I tend to want to just buy in here, but I think the more common strategy is to do what we're seeing Montclair do and just have a bit of a half-buy with whatever you could save.
Tidgak, Vandal in hand. Paranoia is going to back him off, and Hasty looking to gain some space now. Noah's not going to stop here. They want to pick up the pace, and they want to catch a few off guard, and Tidgak looking the wrong way. First to fall, Kago blinded by his teammate. Recovers the Vandal from his teammates, and Kago now looking to do some damage, but MSU, they get the spike down, and now they're looking to set up in this post lane. Kago gets run down. Saka's going to catch Dollar again in the open, looking the wrong way, and Virgo invests the showstopper to bring it into a 1 versus 1, but look at the health of Numone. Moni. So low. The Phantoms just has to spray down around the corner, and St. Lawrence, a clutch for Not Seriously.
It's nice to see. I love how Dollar Bills is actually getting right up in their face just as the spike goes down, is just swinging and taking aggressive fights as well. That's huge to see. It's this double kill, I think, that really saves the day and puts up the 1v1 as a possibility. Zort's deserving a lot of credit as well for just opting into that fight, understanding, hey, I'm not getting away from this showstopper, but if I can somehow find the kill on that raise, I can set Not Seriously up for the 1v1 against Mnemonics. It's fantastic to see as Montclair going to be put on the back foot just a little bit. Now, this is a decision I'm not a big fan of for St. Lawrence. They win the round, but they're essentially saving into this next one.
Yeah, essentially.
I mean, you're giving up the entirety. If you think about the economy as a battle in and of itself, you're giving it up by default here, and not giving yourself as good a chance to win this round.
So again, MSU so good at these executes. Virgo, another first blood traded by Kako with this frenzy. Now looking to get this Vandal from the body of Hasty, but always going to make sure that's not possible. And the spike down immediately. Electric plays here from MSU.
It's gets so much more difficult now with the retake. There's a rolling thunder. If they get deep into this site, they can just get stunned off of it. There's not a lot of way to get out of that scenario either. Well, I guess it could help. You get the opening engagement.
Well, here comes the rolling thunder. Zortz is actually going to be caught in that. So MSU looking to delay the time that you can actually have for this spike defuse. Dollar bill. Nice shots there with Zortz. And no way, Saka and Nemoni give it away for the defuse. Another clutch for St. Lawrence.
This is just a mistake for MSU, though. Last time, phenomenal individual 1v1. Got to be able to find this frag if you're Noah. Zortz has just shut them down, and the early swing as well. Out of tree, taking the fight before the rolling thunder can come in. Just a bit of a mistake in my book. And it allowed St. Lawrence a round that, again, they were essentially giving that one up by going for a half buy / eco.
This goes here.
Up against a full rifle round.
It works,
Bit of a wild
Vincent.
situation.
It works. MSU, I mean, you just cannot give rounds like that up where they start off so well in these past 2 rounds. They just fall short at the finish line.
Yeah, I think, the previous round, it was more down to St. Lawrence making some really good plays. This one, Montclair giving up a bit too much. It'll be this time they on the eco.
Smoke down is actually going to stall this out. That's a lot of information from the Haunt, and C is a no-go. That's going to take us back to A.
It's a ton of util invested, though. Notice everything that went in there. That was all in response to just, I think, a single Haunt and Dark cover.
The Spike is going to rotate actually over into B. Seems like...
Great. Considering the link position.
Should be a split into towards B. You're just waiting to see what Nemoni's going to be doing. Dollar bill waiting for the information to fall off and play for the retake. And here it goes. Haunt over towards Link. Satchel for Virgo. Or Vero. The spike has got its way onto site. Vero's going to find an opening there onto Kako. Look to get the gun. It's a Phantom in the hand now.
They have all the link control they could ever want. This is what, that position is what makes the retakes a lot easier on this site. Without it, it's going to be tough for St. Lawrence.
Now look at this. Noah going to be pressing the issue. Looking to force back St. Lawrence inside the round and draw out this time. Saga has a flank and everybody's in front. The shots. No, the shots. They don't realize it at first. Saga's going to get one. But what could have been?
She's so lucky to get out of that with a frag.
So close, Vincent. So close.
Round 1, though. You can forget about it if the round goes your way, and it certainly has for Montclair. Good decision-making, that rotation back to B, positioning as well to cut off the link in investment if there was going to be one, though there never was for St. Lawrence. That's a bit of a mistake, I think. Notice how stacked up they are. Saga can just take shots, even miss a couple, and still get away with it. That can't happen if you're St. Lawrence University.
That's not right for the replay team to put that back up. Saga,
No.
I am sorry if you're watching this one back. I'll have a word with the replay team.
Sometimes you got to look back at the hard moments, take stock, what went wrong.
Dollar bill spots out the hands, goes back in, and there's a shot. The op not gonna make anything out of it just yet. Falls back right away. Very passive round this time out of MSU.
There's no reason for them to be playing ultra aggressive. They already put some feelers out towards C. Know that nobody's getting aggressive there. Now it's time for the same thing, but over towards A, where they've got some root. They're going to be heading out towards rubble. This will be solid stuff to get them into good positions. And that's something that I do want to see St. Lawrence maybe change up. They are allowing a ton of space. I mean, maximum space given here. And Montclair haven't even had to invest utility to get it.
Euro slowly working their way into sight. Gonna get the better of Congo yet again. First to fall. The plant down right away. Vero looking for more. That's two. Zortz falls. And now this post plant without your initiators is going to be super difficult. You look to Tidgek to make this change. But look what's set up. It's the nightmare now. Vero looking to follow up on this one. You can see the trail players are caught in the Prowler to lead the way. Vero 3 in the round, and it is done. St. Lawrence sent packing a fourth for MSU.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is why St. Lawrence need to get more aggressive. They need to play forward because MSU, that was a contact play out towards A. And the first contact made, you see where the X is on the minimap? It was at the back of A site.
Yeah,
nobody
crazy.
had any information prior to that. Nobody jump spotting towards stairs. Nobody even doing anything on the C site either. Dollar Bill, he was opping all the way in their spawn pretty much. It was the back of B main. It was just so, or C main, excuse me, but it was just so passive. And you can't allow them to get this much space for free.
Changes that need to be seen. Heading into the next couple of rounds. Dollar Bill still with that op. Solo on A with this op. That's not where MSU. They're changing this one up yet again, Vincent. 4 stack to mounds. Everybody's going to be here. Zortz with a stinger in hand. And MSU, they can hear everything. Vero's going to be caught. The Prowler looking to keep Zortz back, but still looking to go back in. The Aftershocks to get rid of this fade. They're swinging together. Showstopper now for Vero, caught by the Bulldog, but the trades go the way of MSU. And again, Dollar Bill, nowhere to be seen with this operator. So alone over towards the A site.
I'm just going to drop the op down. Doesn't want to give that over to the attackers. Doesn't want to give that space up.
There's time to save.
I mean, it could have certainly tried to, but the spike, it went down as he died there. So that was another 40 seconds of hunting, potentially. You can understand the thought process at the very least. 5-2. MSU. And a relatively expensive round for them, considering that was up against an eco in that they, they dropped the showstopper and such, but gonna be perfectly fine with that. And the irony is that St. Lawrence, the round that they're kind of just tossing bodies at the problem, I think that was the right call.
It was an interesting change. Looking to fight fire with fire. Sometimes that it's the blood going, but not this case with MSU. A team that definitely had their work cut out for them, but they're starting off strong in the map pick of St. Lawrence. Excellent execute from Vero here yet again to take control of the site. Spike's going down right away.
That's a fight that Chicago really needs to win. With Mnemonics taken out of that position, there's something to be said about this retake, especially with how quickly the 3 members are coming on the flank. Just gotta stand tall and hang on some of this waterfall control, and they'll do that.
Odin for not seriously gonna spot out Noah. The flashpoint though, and Vera, nice swing. Tidgek's gonna get the trade, but numbers for MSU. Wiped away by Tidgek. Showstopper, it's gonna land. 3 kills for Tidgek on this retake. Low HP though, and Saka's gonna cut things down. The defuse is gonna get taps, looking to bait them out, and Cargo swings it around for St. Lawrence. It seems.
I don't know that they have it.
No.
Yeah, just a second off. That's unfortunate, and that was the time that it took to get that triple flank into position. By the way, Vero, the timing coming through into that waterfall fight, fantastic. That really puts a wrinkle in the possible outcome of this round. Very fortunate that Montclair were able to knock enough time off of that clock, but you'll take those every day of the week. that, this is not a good looking half for the St. Lawrence University squad. You take a peek, their money is busted up once again. Take an early fight. This is going to cause probably a fast snap towards C. And yes, it is. Just that paranoia and everything. And they're headed right out.
Seriously, here with the sheriff. Shot between the two.
I know exactly where you
And Nimoni actually going to get some information off a kill lurking back over towards A. It looked like St. Lawrence, they wanted to aggress onto the Cypher, but it's not going to pay off. And now that neural theft is going to feed the information to the rest of the team on where Zortz is.
One enemy remains.
Hunting is on. Vero is going to catch them on the exit. And Kako still dancing around with Nimoni. A flawless round for MSU White. The attack of Lotus 7-2, Vincent. And even think about the 2 rounds that St. Lawrence have got. 2 clutch defuses that came down to the wire. This has not been a close game for St. Lawrence.
No, it hasn't. And especially when you consider it was a bonus round as well, one of those. So a lot less weaponry than you would normally see in a full gun round. It doesn't paint a very pretty picture.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Like to see them try and use these ultimates. They've had them for a while, especially that Rolling Thunder. Want to see them try and make a set play. I mean, they're getting aggressive here.
There.
Same situation towards Mound. And again, MSU, they understand that St. Lawrence aren't playing aggressive anywhere. And when they do, when they put some utility down, that means they're all there. Crazy that Mnemonics is going to get out of that with one site pretty much locked down at this point. Everybody grouped up and taking so much space towards spawn, CMoore. This is beautiful.
Proactive. So proactive from MSU White. And Mnemonics getting that first initial kill, too, slows down St. Lawrence yet again. I mean, there's no time to hit this defuse and find all 4 members. They need to go fast, and Vero's already going to find one. Saga up top shuts down their opposition. Fade against Fade, and Saga has been leading this one. Kago, some nice shots. It's down to 1. A 1v1 for Dollar Bill. Can they clutch up yet again? The Aftershock is going to make that a big old nope burger. 8 rounds for MSU White. The spike's going to detonate, and they look good.
That they do. And I'm glad you mentioned Mnemonics, right? Just, it's not about... Mnemonics don't have to get a kill there. But getting a frag and staying alive for so long, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 seconds that delays the retake. You saw it was the difference there at the end. The possibility, I know there was the Rolling Thunder, probably wouldn't have happened, but just the chance versus none at all is absolutely huge. And, well, right now, Montclair State, they are an unstoppable force. Look how passive it is. St. Lawrence, I think they've taken the wrong decisions or the wrong outcomes from those last couple of rounds where they got aggressive out Mound. Instead, they're going for more of a stack play with Dollar Bill. Very aggressive towards B. Maybe got to poke his nose in where it doesn't belong. And how have they made this read? There's no way they're just walking through this smoke.
No way at all. Nobody is here, so it's just gonna work, Vincent.
Okay, they're not walking through. I don't know how they had that read, but if they... Okay, no, they're just waiting the smoke out.
Smoke goes down. The showstopper's gonna be invested into this one, and Vero...
Toss in the corner, do it.
Ain't no way. No damage off of that. But
There's
it was
a lockdown.
close.
So there's maybe some way to get back in here, but there's a Rolling Thunder to answer that lockdown to stall out the retaking players.
Yeah, so are we going to see that Rolling Thunder from MSU White? Vero already looking to hit this flank. Sorts is going to be ready for this one, but as the lockdown goes down, Hasty's going to get out of there. 0 players detained. And Hasty actually cancels it out. So smart. Not seriously. No read on that possibility. Vero looking to get back to the side and pick them off one by one. Shots in the back. Vero now looking to delay. Zortz is going to get the kill, but it's too little too late. 1 versus 3. Saga's gonna go down, but the round is won 9-2. MSU have a commanding lead heading into the second half.
That was some greedy stuff from Saga. Oh my goodness. Look at this in the end. Saga wanted that final frag, so did Zords. Just hanging out. 19-6 for Vero Heat, by the way. Just many quad kills. And speaking of quad, there's 6 kills for the rest of the squad. I do find funny. A little symmetry situation.
So good. I mean, Vero is doing everything for MSU White at the start of rounds, at the end of rounds. If Vero can stay alive, I don't even think there's a chance for St. Lawrence to win it. But I like this at a dollar bill. You see the aggression finally pay off for the Omen, and Vero looking to hunt with this shorty. A little too far of a battle to take, buddy.
Yeah, but it has pulled out quite a bit of utility.
Look at Zords.
Yeah, this is a great position. They haven't been aggressive here once.
Mnemonics has no idea. Still going to be cleared, and Zords just not ready for the fight. Looking at the wall.
I didn't expect to be taking an engagement right there. Rotations are coming for St. Lawrence, but well, they might be a little too late with Mnemonics winning a fight like that and Spike going down.
Spike planted, 4v3. St. Lawrence going to end off this half with a round victory, and dollar bill is going to even us up. How good has this Omen been for St. Lawrence University? Noah's got the Rolling Thunder, ready to let it rip at any moment. Mnemonics just tucks behind the Spike, and here it is. Mnemonics going to peek out just before that Rolling Thunder is going to land. It's all down to dollar bill, 1 versus 3, and there's no time, Vincent. On Lotus, the map pick of St. Lawrence University. This is a stomp.
My goodness, and Noah just hanging out behind the box. Insult to injury right there. They'll go down, but 10-2. CMoore, this is incredible. I had no expectations coming into this, but I don't know, considering the win-loss here, 4-2, 5-1. I was expecting a close affair, even on the map pick of St. Lawrence. Not only has it not been close, but it's not been good for St. Lawrence.
You and me both. I mean, how many times do I look at you, Vincent, and we're looking at the stats, and when a team is 5-1, the stats are usually true. I mean, it's had time to like weed out like the possibilities for this team and how they look, and this does not look like a 5-1 team.
I know.
They need to figure out a way to get comfortable on this map, and a lot of it comes down to just taking no space.
What a wild trip.
It's going to be spotted too. 4 members here to stop this by MSU. Hasty, somehow still alive. Mnemonics going to get the first kill of the round, and the wrap from St. Louis to head to C.
And Not Seriously is hanging out. Should be able to get 1 here. The HP low enough, and it's not just the first, but 2. That almost seals the round.
Vero's still alive.
Can't do anything about it on the cross.
2v4, low HP on every single member except Tidgek. And the Nano Swarms still available. Vero's going to be blocked off by the Paranoia. Noah isolated, 18 health, and a dream to win it out. The right click from dollar bill, aware of how low Vero was. A heads-up play from the Omen yet again, but it all comes down to this from Not Seriously. I mean, that rotation for St. Lawrence, it sets up in a 4-on-4, if not for Not Seriously sticking around.
It's not just a numbers game either, CMoore. It's about the presence. If there's somebody door, even just trolling around, opening and closing, not really committing to a fight, all of the players back site have to play a lot more scared. They aren't able to really move around and find the angles correctly and play off of one another. That's a problem. And, well, without that presence, without that pressure, it's easy enough to handle the oncoming traffic. Just one direction to be dealt with. We hop into a bit of a tech pause. Just some quick look back at what's been happening. It's very much the Montclair State show, at least in that first half.
1 enemy remaining.
A couple of rounds too early on for St. Lawrence, where the retakes looked really good, but towards the later ends, you saw that MSU, they figured it out. They cracked the code of if Vero can get on site right away and nobody's there, spike down immediately, set up for the post plants, and trust that Mnemonics is going to at least find 1 or 2 kills on the lurk, and that's going to delay St. Lawrence and slow them down. And it did quite a lot. I mean, this came down to the time most of all. So I think St. Lawrence, if they can play a little bit like that first round, play quickly, play together, especially on the attacking side of Lotus, they can really expose this game.
I think you're right. You're on the right track. That is certainly a possibility, but they got to figure out a way to stop Vero Heat. That was somebody that seemed an unstoppable force in so many of these rounds, consistently delivering multi-frags. And, I mean, again, it wasn't as if, you know, there's a lot of times you look at that scoreline and it seems like that might be the only player on the server. That wasn't the case, but with that level of consistency, it's difficult to actually make any plays not run into Vero Heat, at least in that first half. So St. Lawrence University, the first step is done. They figured out at least one way to get back in, and that's picking up a pistol round. I don't think we're going to be seeing any crazy force buy. It looks like Hasty is the one who's disconnected, unfortunately. But, you know, we talked as well, CMoore, about the head-to-heads that we've seen, right? Both teams playing Cornell University White in their time, and that's, I think, what the biggest question mark for us was, considering both teams played Cornell and St. Lawrence beat them, where it was a 1-2 loss over for MSU.
That 1-2 loss was close.
It was. And there was one other thing I wanted to bring up about it, and that is that St. Lawrence played them in week 1, all the way at the beginning of the season. It's been a long 5 weeks since then. So, considering it was just a couple of weeks ago that MSU actually played up against Cornell, could it be a very different looking team?
Are we saying that the Cornell University White stocks have gone up?
I'm saying that's certainly a possibility, and it does fit our current narrative that we're seeing painted by the scoreline of 10-3 with Montclair up on St. Lawrence's map pick. And if I was painting a picture, all of that would be there.
It is a very good picture to paint right now.
It wouldn't be very pretty, but it would.
Would it be less pretty because you're the one painting it, or because of the picture?
Because I'm the one painting it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The picture sounded great.
Yeah, no. Like if it's a thing that happens in your mind, if you're imagining it, that's great. If I got a paintbrush out, not
if this thing is AI generated by you typing it in, maybe
it would look better if it was AI generated than it'd be painting by a lot.
I've never seen your painting, but I'll take
you don't
your,
want to. You simply don't want to.
Take your word for it, for sure.
I have no idea what's happened, but I saw 2 words down at the bottom.
It said Wi-Fi went. Okay. So it seems like seems like the Wi-Fi went out on campus, Vincent. So
that's tough.
This might take a second. So I think this is good. Welcome back, everybody. I told you it was going to be a little bit quick. We just had to get a mobile hotspot set up for the players. And MSU White, they're back into the lobby, Vincent. So let's see if they can rebound after that pistol loss.
Yeah, listen, I think having a couple seconds to cool off, probably, you know, considering St. Lawrence already won the pistol, probably doing them a little bit of good. I would appreciate that at the very least if I was in the server. Getting a couple of seconds to reset mentally. Whatever they saw over today, they didn't like it. St. Lawrence, they saw a single fault line and they're like, no, thank you.
Well, what they're going to get at C is definitely not what they want. Vero is the one standing over here. A little lurk out of Sega. Over egregious challenge there. She's going to get caught on the flank. And St. Lawrence from coast to coast, back and forth. We're headed to A again. Hasty. Can they stop it?
Some decisions being made about that dark cover. It's not going to stop St. Lawrence, though.
No. But it is going to be given time to hopefully give Hasty some isolated fights. The spike's going down. Hasty's going to hear that. The presence offsite is going to be coming through Link. And Dollar Bill is watching it. Vandal ready for what's to come. Mnemonics It's a Sentinel Classic. For all that all of you that may not know, go support the VCT teams.
Yeah, 100%. Gotta give them some cash. Pretty cool.
Give them your money so they can do cool things on stream.
Exactly.
Spike planted.
Give us a lot of entertainment, you know?
Yeah.
Love to see St. Lawrence, though, keeping that one very clean. The good start to their comeback journey. The biggest problem is that Montclair, they have so many rounds to work with, and only a couple of rounds lost is going to be just horrific for St. Lawrence. Going to cut their possibilities significantly every time they make a mistake or even just lose one round out of nowhere. A lot of control out towards Rubbles or Montclair. They're into position.
Cargo's going to open it up. Here we go. Noah. Phantom spraying through the smoke. A little bit of damage there. Cargo's actually down so low. And Sorts is forced off of this. The dark cover is going to delay this attempt at B, and it seems like that's going to force St. Lawrence over to C.
Don't want to wait things out too long. It's also usually going to be a good rotation considering nobody's actually committed other than Saga. She doesn't necessarily have to either. Can just walk away from waterfalls as well. C site will be evacuated. 4 on 5 for the retake, Montclair.
Hasty looking for anything, but St. Lawrence not giving anything. It's very safe post plant. Seriously, is actually going to be spotted, and Congo sprayed down to the wall. Hasty, a little wall bang action is going to give now Vero a chance at aggression. Swings out, sees nothing in this 4-on-4. 10 gets the first to fall. Dollar bill for the retrade. Dollar bill gets 2. It's all down to Vero. Time draining away. Planted for the backside. Vero's going to stick this one to half. Hops off it. Hopefully that Zorts is going to come out and give Vero a chance, but it's a pinch from both sides, and St. Lawrence give 5.
They look like us.
There we go. It's the gun round, and it goes their way. A beautiful way to get on the board, at least when it comes to the real weapon rounds. We hadn't seen one of those out from St. Lawrence since the very beginning of the first half. Their adjustment back towards the C site ends up really perfect. And you know, I really criticize St. Lawrence for the way they weren't taking any aggressive positions on their defensive side. It actually saves them there. They just play it really passive back towards the site. Don't take any forward positions or get up in the faces of the retaking Montclair. And MSU, they were waiting for that. And they didn't ever get it, which means that they had to take so much extra time.
Time is something that both of these teams seem to give up on the defending side. Nice shot from the Marshall. Back in for 2. Saga's going to go down, and advantage given up right away. Dollar bill, half of himself a game.
And for 1, and St. Lawrence, again, one thing to say about them is that they've been incredibly decisive on this attack side. They're making their decisions, and they're sticking together, which I love to see. Sometimes it's just that simple thing that can give you a victory.
Noah actually spotted by the Haunt, and that's going to uproot the potential flank that Noah was going for. Hasty's going to get 1 before Vero goes down, but looking for a little bit more. They're not giving anything away, and Mnemonics, this Marshall is going to be blocked out by the dark cover. Spike is getting planted, and
30 seconds left.
MSU going to have to go above and beyond just to win this one out. They need a lot of luck.
Spike planted.
I think it all started with that
Enemy remaining.
nice trade shot, and I don't think they're going to get much of anything done outside of that. Especially with the Marshall close range. Not always the best weaponry. They're playing with him.
Yeah, I mean,
Just hanging out.
respect is being shown to Mnemonics.
No hard feelings.
Oh, and
That's
I guess rightfully so. Just off the head, Zorts. That bullet whizzed over the shoulder.
Lucky to be alive, that's for sure. And another round where St. Lawrence, in these post plants, they're playing really smart. They're not getting overzealous. They're playing together. And even that situation there, only reason they're not swinging off of one another is just because they already have the space to work with. They already know that the timer is starting to tick down, and it's about time rather than about the frags at that junction. But yeah, I think that St. Lawrence have a good figure of what's going on in some of these rounds, but this is another gun round. MSU, they couldn't do anything in the previous.
Let's flash out there. Dollar bill with the help of Tidgak. It's another opening in the gun round. Saka looking to pick up where they left off, but only able to find the one. MSU down to 2.
And it already feels like St. Lawrence, they've won this round. Yeah, backing up or Montclair.
Spike planted. My
You
ult
could
is
try
ready.
to go in for this, but there's no foothold. Nothing to work from. Don't even have like steps control. You're out of this. It was a triple A setup that was meant to hold back the push, but a little bit of a flub, I think. Like, I don't know what utility they were throwing, but they missed the paint shell early, and I don't know what else was being invested there, but the 3 players that were ready to go didn't seem prepared to take a fight, even though they were positioned to do so. I'm already feeling that St. Lawrence, the numbers don't add up yet, but in my mind, they've already made the comeback.
Yeah, I mean, only 3 rounds down, Vincent. They're back.
And 2 gun rounds that looked really, really good.
Comes down to the openings. It was the same thing for St. Lawrence and how they gave up so much on their defending side early on. They didn't even give themselves really a chance to fight for these sites. They're trying to play for first bloods, and they're going a little bit too far into it to try to get them. They're giving up so much.
Montclair will take a timeout, understandably so, right? Just talk things over about what's been going wrong. And, here's just another peek at what's been going on this entire half. It started out 10-2, remember? It's now 10-7. That's a crazy comeback already. That's why I'm saying the mentality for St. Lawrence is correct.
Enemy remaining.
And MSU, I'm spitballing a little bit here, but it kind of feels like to me, they're playing not to lose in a lot of those rounds. That last one is the first time they've really gotten aggressive and tried to, I think, take a round by themselves, right? Control the pace a little bit, and it didn't work out, which is part of the reason I think this timeout's important for them to take a moment and reset, find out, okay, was the game plan wrong or was the execution wrong?
Gonna have to see if that question can be answered here for MSU, as the Tactibears are looking to summon something that's coming out of that flower. Not sure what it's going to be, but
Those are demon bears. Just saying.
mystical
one.
demon bears.
Bring them down.
No bears that I've ever heard of summon anything. They just go roar. Do some sleeping.
They summon a good old growl.
I was hoping for the jump spot, but it's nothing but a bullet down range. Starts to hear some stomping. None of that's necessarily a guarantee, though, that the B side is under attack.
So
Move
difficult.
through the door and into C.
So difficult to defend against this one. Noah kind of caught now. Tidgak is trailing after this breach, and Noah's gotten out. That's the important part here. It'll be a 5-on-5 for the retake. MSU. Fortunate part, they're walking into a lockdown.
You should run.
And they're on an eco. They don't have a ton to work with. Don't have a ton to play with either.
They don't really have anything to stop this one. 2 players are going to be detained by the lockdown. Saka was just in the middle of the site hoping that somebody was going to give it up, but Hasty's coming back in. Hasty's got a Vandal. The time is so low, they need to go quickly. The dark cover is going to be down, and now Hasty with the paranoia, hoping to back up these players. Dark cover is going to dismiss, and Hasty's got everything to do with this Vandal, but it's just not to be. Mnemonics, the up looking to run away, be safe for the next round, but another round loss for MSU. A lot of damage done, but things are down to a 2-round difference now.
This is just going to show you that a phenomenal first half doesn't win you the game. You got to play the whole map. And at the moment, just nothing been done for the Montclair State squad in the second half.
This goes here.
The turnaround. St. Lawrence, their post plans have also been really good. Once they get onto the site, I don't think MSU have really had much of a chance. There's been a couple of closer scenarios, but as a general rule, it really hasn't been too much of an issue.
Monix is going to let that op sing to C. That's going to give away its positioning, and St. Lawrence quickly to adapt. Bomb just outside of B. Players stacked to A. Vero has to be careful. Dollar Bill hasn't been known to miss these shots.
Just trying to find some sort of contact play, looking for MSU to play aggressive, and MSU simply aren't. Mnemonics is the only one doing anything of the sort, right? First contact made towards C, adjust back towards B, but it's just a leg shot through the edge of the wall.
And now they know that the op isn't on C anymore, so they're going to hit that quick rotate over. The Nightmare is going to lead the charge in. Saga gets out to Waterfall. Mnemonics is going to set up into their spawn with the op, but hunted by the Prowler after that Nightmare hits him.
Spike planted.
Another plant down. It's going to test these post plant scenarios once again for St. Lawrence.
Taco is looking to pressure up this op. Noah looking to give some space here. Not seriously goes down. Flashpoint back out. Noah looking to get rid of Kako. The showstopper infestor from 0 to 2 versus 2. Things getting a little chaotic here, but it's down to Sega and Mnemonics. Sega through Waterfall. Shut down by Dollar Bill. A 1 versus 2. Lots of damage on Desorts, but the Prowler is going to delay this one, and there isn't a lot of time for Mnemonics to make it. The cage is going to be thrown down, hopefully blocking these members out, and he knows exactly where they both are. Looking to play around. He gets the kills, but is there time, Vincent? I don't think so.
No, I don't think there was. Not to get all the way around. Oh, man. Another close call, but another round for St. Lawrence University. They've done it again. And it's this aggressive positioning out towards the spawn. It's so difficult to connect with. As MSU, they rotate in, and they just get hit with bit after bit of utility layered through. That's part of what's hard to contend with, I think, when you're playing this double initiator, right? With Zorts and Kago, they just have so much to work with when it comes to prowlers and flashpoints and fault lines. It's just all very difficult to work against. It allows them to take that space. Not only that, just stand strong when it comes to the retake, or playing against the retake, setting up crossfires.
It's all down to 1 round now. That's the scary part for MSU. What a strong attacking side and a silent defense. Both teams just can't get it going.
Hard to see a world where Montclair give up so many rounds so early into the half, and then it just happens.
Hasty. Does he get cleared out? He does. Still gets one, though. That's Kako down. No breach to find this one, but Tidgak with the showstopper is going to be the one to initiate the C site. Nothing's going to be spotted. Just holding on to the showstopper as long as possible to delay Mnemonics working the flank and to spot the alarm bot and force some attention back. Saga opens up the revolving door with the Sheriff looking for some shots here. Loses out on the flank, and now it's all really Saga holding the attention of St. Lawrence.
Well, I mean, she's done it. Held the attention, allowed them to get towards the site, but...
Nightmare's
well,
over.
I mean, I guess that's one way to get things going. Down to a 3-on-3 with classics in hand.
It's a big kill to find. No Dollar Bill puts some pressure onto some of the sporting cast to pick up these frags, and it looks like they're going to do just that. Mows them down. Only classics to worry about. 10-10. We find ourselves on Lotus from 10-2 down. St. Lawrence, they put 8 rounds in a row on their attacking side.
Man, CMoore, I just can't believe that we're seeing this aggressive of a comeback story. Rare that you can keep the mental straight enough to get back into a game down 10-2, but even beyond that, such dominant and unstoppable fashion. They haven't dropped a single round in the second half of St. Lawrence. Fantastic. I think this might be the first op, though, that we're seeing for MSU. At least the first one early in Vero's hands.
I mean, it was Mnemonics who brought it out earlier, but found not really anything here. Vero has been so quiet in the second half. Maybe the op is going to reignite that flame. Mnemonics actually going to re-clear into tree, it seems like. Set up on a little crossfire with Mnemonics. The Rolling Thunder is going to hopefully lead in for TEDGAC. Mnemonics actually got caught by that, but still able to recover, and a beautiful shot, stunned up. The shot down TEDGAC, spike down in the connector. Finally, MSU putting together a defensive round. One left for St. Lawrence, where they climbed all the way back to a tie game and a lead just ahead of them. They fall short. And MSU, they break through.
Okay, that's an answer that we've been looking for. The Montclair State University squad. I mean, how many times have they tried in this half and just come up short? And it comes down to Mnemonics just taking an aggressive fight. Again, I was mentioning how we have seen such passivity from the defense just across the board in this game. It's them taking a stand and taking an early fight, risky though it may be, and then winning it out thanks to Mnemonics that helps pull them over the edge. Well, what a brutal way it would be for St. Lawrence if they were to lose this map after this comeback, but
yeah,
plenty of time to stop that from happening.
No matter which way that picture of yours is being painted, Vincent, it's brutal on both ends. MSU, they needed that round.
Keeps them alive, and honestly, it's weird to say a confidence round, but just so dominant, right? I think everybody survived, or all but one, and it just it fills you with a sense of just, hey, we got this. We're not just gonna get rolled.
St. Lawrence ready to explode into B, and they've reached the site. Noah almost a chance to get rid of Dollar Bill, but TEDGAC's the ones to open up this round after shock and a flashpoint. Nightmare from MSU looking to retake right away and stop this plan from going down, but Noah, a little bit of work to be done here. Dollar Bill gets rid of Hasty. Noah goes back in, but not able to equalize. It's a 2 versus 4. Saga now. She's looking to get an angle. Not able to get anything done with it. Dollar Bill turns around, takes down Mnemonics, and St. Lawrence, they pull it back once again.
That's crazy. Absolutely insane. I mean, Noah was in great position there in Link, able to even play defense against multiple players coming at them, but it doesn't matter. The fights towards the end, uncoordinated for Montclair. They were just taking individual ones moment by moment. Even though Mnemonics had a great timing, nobody was there to swing with them. So after the first frag, everybody for St. Lawrence could just instantly turn and be ready to go. Down to the wire. We're going to need them all. Every round is required. Crown a winner for this map, and we may need extras.
Yeah. This could be the nail in the coffin, though, Vincent. This round here, MSU, you lose it, you're most likely on a Thrifty or some kind of a force. St. Lawrence, you lose this, you'll probably get to buy back into it, but
they should be okay.
Won't be pretty.
Slowing things down are St. Lawrence. They picked up the pace last time, but Mnemonics' aggression into this position has been a real thorn in the side of MSU.
I think Mnemonics has been the flower in the grass right now for this team. Always changing up, always adapting, but not going to be ready for the late flank buy. Seriously, just waiting and lurking for that opening that Mnemonics is going to add. Reading the cipher like a book and allowing St. Lawrence now more chance at a league. Saga, though, gonna get one back and immediately traded by Kago and Zorts. It's a 2v3. Kago, what a read onto Noah. Vero in a 1v4. Can they make it possible? Listening for the full exit. Everybody grouped up onto the mound. The revolving door is going to open, and everybody turns now. Vero Looking for a way back into this one. Blast backs out, and Dollar Bill won't let it happen. No matter what it was, St. Lawrence, they were getting this 12th round.
That they were. And listen, the individuals picking up the frags, great shots, yes, but that round is very much thanks to Not Seriously. First of all, you mentioned, right, clearing out Mnemonics, and Mnemonics has been there. Whether it's been them or someone else, there have been a lot of moments where that early quick rotate through the link door has been a problem for St. Lawrence on their C hits, and so love to see Not Seriously taking that fight. But then once they win it, disengage, and two MSU players are just hunting for the next 20 seconds, allowing space for St. Lawrence to get the spike down.
Now or never, Mnemonics good with the Marshall, looking for a second though. Escapes with his life. That might be enough. The Haunt, he's gonna catch him. Paint shells into the back line. Mnemonics gets away again. Not unscathed, but still with a lot of health.
And that C is really locking Mnemonics down. They took a lot of utility to do so.
Heroes here with Noah. Flashpoint, and that's going to be good for one. Swings back out. Everybody's here. They line up for Noah. Triple kill with the Spectre, and it's going overtime.
What the heck was that? They just one by one swing into the crosshairs, and Noah just holds mouse one. There's absolutely no reason to be swinging into that so quickly, but oh my goodness. St. Lawrence have gotta be kicking themselves thinking, to a Spectre? No. But yes, it is. Montclair State, they're not done yet. Not to be done, outdone by St. Lawrence. Get the overtime period. Just got to win by 2. But outside of that run of rounds, St. Lawrence brought it back. It's been back and forth there at the end of the half.
MSU have finally clicked on defense, but they're back on the attack. This is where they were ferocious. And why? Because of Vero. Cargo and TidDeck, they've been in this position before, and they've fallen flat before. So this time, after they've put some confidence in their sails, Vincent, can they step up? Well, it doesn't seem like they're going to have a chance just yet, or maybe so. MSU, idea to possibly go through trees. They're going to leave the spike there. Let it sit. Look at this. Zorts is going to get the attention, and Dollar Bill should put it away. Nice set spike.
It's a great setup. Little bait. 1-2 punch. And I love that Dollar Bill is taking that position aggressively after the contact is made.
TidDeck looking to fall back here. Comes MSU. 4 versus 4. Dollar Bill has gotten into things, but you've lost TidDeck, you've lost the sight, and Dollar Bill has to be careful with Zorts not to get ahead of things while waiting for this rotation.
Gonna have all 3 here, and pretty darn quickly as well. You're gonna be stuck together. Need to re-clear steps as well. They're not even gonna get a chance to do that.
Last pack's gonna send him away. Hasty has made no noise. Do they read this? From the shadows to reposition.
Last player standing.
Stays still, though, and it's all in Hasty. Everybody swinging together. The trigger discipline. It's sublime. Hasty gets 2. And another clutch from MSU puts 2 rounds in a row.
Now that was beautiful. Absolutely perfect. Just hanging on. Trigger discipline, as you say. And it's all, again, a bait. Vero, he goes down and they're like, no way there's going to be another one close under heaven. That would be crazy. And indeed it was. But it was Hasty going crazy. Montclair State University putting them back in position to win their first chance to close this map out.
Things you absolutely love to see from the player that disconnected earlier. Vero gets spotted by the Haunt, opens up the link to be in. He's going to tuck away. Bill ready. Oh, nice headshot angle. Vero walks right into it.
It's just not something you love to see from Montclair early on. Taking an individual swing that is untradeable. Just one of those little errors that could come back and bite them at the end of the series. They're still on map point. Still a chance to bring this one back in this round, especially with how grouped they are. St. Lawrence, they're going to stick together as well. 4, just the one lurk. Elsewhere, that KJ hanging on to some positioning out B.
Saga is set up, but they're splitting this one into B. So, hard to tell because they're not going to have to open up this door. Vero did that for them earlier. The Hasty, again, going to have to go big, but instead just going to feed that information and wait. It's the right call to make.
And getting in these post plants is exactly what you need to see, but where's Tidek looking?
But he's distracted by what is Mnemonics working through the revolving door, and here comes MSU back into it. 3 versus 2. Zortis now up to Pat. Saka dancing against this fight, keeping them busy, draining the time and allowing no one to make the play. Nice shots there from Zorts, but it's all down to not seriously. The smoke gonna be blocking them off. Re-ups and Hasty's gonna stick it. Saga waiting on the other side. Seriously sprays on through. Not gonna connect. The defuse is stuck again. All down to 1, but MSU, they stick it out for the defuse, and it's all down to
out of the normal map. I mean, MSU very aggressive out the gate, leaning into that mechanical drive and that initiative, and St. Lawrence University had a hard time pinpointing it because of a lack of information. So if we're getting ready to ascent, is it just going to be that but worse in favor of MSU?
You know, it's kind of interesting because I do feel like there's two things going on, right? First of all, Montclair State, they had Vero Heat going crazy on the raise, like, you know, dropping like 20 kills in a half. You're always going to look good in that half if you have somebody dropping 20, typically speaking. But I do think that they got a little bit found out. St. Lawrence, there was nothing crazy about their attack side. They were just sticking together, you know, playing and making sure that they were in positions to trade out kills, and when they were doing a great job. Not to mention the fact that they were willing to just up and leave whenever something didn't look good. They saw a bit of utility that they didn't like. They were down to
are on the defense, and somehow the attackers have taken that lead. You really do need that depth of a playbook, just so you can come up with creative strategies and the like. But we are jumping into the aging compositions, and it looks like we have a mirror meta composition versus a breach pick. What do we make of that?
Yeah, that's a little interesting. It's one of those things where I know we haven't casted that much together, but I am a breach enjoyer. I have been since beta, like always. You know, I there's a soft spot in my heart for breach, but there's a reason that we don't see a ton of breach on this map, and that's because the KO is just really strong here. I don't hate it though, and the reason I don't hate it is that I think that if St. Lawrence can actually play off of that, like, the fault line is still really strong here. It's just not as good as the knife, but it's still really good. I don't think it's bad. I just think they gotta play around it.
Oh, I completely agree. That could be exactly what they need to shut down the momentum of the duelists. But what I'm saying is that we don't have Numni on the Sentinel. They're the actual one on the duelist from MSU White. So that's going to be interesting to see that roll pivot. But for now, I mean, it's an early exec with the Killjoy lurking. They might even get spotted up before the momentum on A side unfolds. Yeah, that's first blood from Dollar Bill. So your backdoor option's taken away. You have to commit here, and that's exactly what they're going to do in stride, taking a frag back, and now did get cast to wait for the rest of the team to support them.
That was the scariest moment, though, getting onto that site.
Oh,
the paranoia. Catches two, but Hasty taking too much time. Now Mnemonics has a lot to do, despite just now getting activated. It's Zort's trade and Saga. She's up to the 1v2. HP's low on one of these players. Gonna take a ton of damage from that shock dart. Zort's on the point with that one. There's not much that can be done considering that position. Zort's shaking them down.
And that was just an impending kind of doom there. The crunch follows suit, and St. Lawrence University definitely not going to get clean swept here because they've taken the first half pistol. And I really loved the kind of patience there from the Jet, from the side of St. Lawrence University, because they just waited until their teammates were there to flood back in, and that's exactly how they were able to get that advantage flipped in their favor. Couple that with, you know, Hasty, who tried to clear out those mid pressure points, it just wasn't enough.
I also would have liked to see MSU focus on getting that spike down a little bit quicker, because I think then they could have gotten into post plants. Instead, Saga was sort of forced into those aggressive positions and then 8 shock darts, etc., etc. Wasn't ideal, but St. Lawrence taking an early lead has got to feel good for them after the struggles they put forth in the first half of Lotus. It's just a bit of a different look. Do love this setup though with the Paranoia.
I do, and it allows Not Seriously to find the opening blood onto Hasty, and even they add that to Mr. Cole's to the list. And they're not done hunting either. They're crunched between Tigdeck and the Killjoy. So as the frags follow, Saga somehow finds 2 with the Frenzy, but ultimately it's not enough. Those Spectres to get the job done time and time again, and pretty seamlessly at that. 3 members walking away with those rifles.
I apologize. I have just noticed that St. Lawrence has a sub in Mr. Cool's, or excuse me, Montclair. But yeah, I should have seen that before, because it's Virio who's out, right?
That's probably why the role swaps came out, right?
I would imagine so. And just in general, Mnemonics looked like they were very comfortable in a lot of aggressive duels, especially late on. That was one of the swap-ups, was with Mnemonics taking some of those aggressive duels that I think put Montclair over the edge towards overtime. But yeah, interesting considering that, you know, Vero, he was one of the more dominant players, but maybe they're just a Raze player, you know? That would make a lot of sense.
That's what I was thinking when I saw that swap, without even realizing the sub was there either. Were they the one having issues with the hotspot or no?
No, that was Hasty.
Okay, interesting to see that they did have to get subbed out. But regardless, we'll see if it really impacts them, because so far it has. 2-0, their attack momentum that they had built up on Lotus being denied. I mean, part of that has just been these well-placed paranoias. Let's see if it comes out off of the switch tap. No, it's the fault line. And that lets Not Seriously again draw first blood and get out unscathed.
And on a round like this, getting onto the site in like 4v5 post plant actually is fantastic.
Hasty?
Though. Hasty could have the timing so
this could be
right.
huge. They can't rush it though when they are 1-2 with a player flash from Not Seriously. They're not going to re-swing. St. Lawrence, you know that they're there, right? I mean, deal with one issue at a time, and there it is. That box checked. They can resume normal operations, but now Saga, she's also causing mayhem here, and the only one B main on an island. She will learn how to swim, and that's MSU's White's Montclair's first round on the board to fight back.
This is so wild as well, because, yeah, Hasty's just allowed to take shots for so long. Maybe everybody was blind and deaf and, like, the comms got jumbled. I don't know, but taking that extra second also allows Saga's smoke to clear. Like, the dark cover in the front of B main clears out, and now Saga can be much more effective in that position. It all kind of went wrong, all at the wrong time as well. Everything starting to fall apart there for St. Lawrence, despite the fact I want to give them props. I asked about some of those micro plays and getting aggressive. I've actually liked what they've been doing. You know, there's clearly some intention and game plan in what they're looking at.
Oh, and now the game plan is to follow through off this information, off the suppression here. Amen, but Kago and Tigdeck, without even seeing anything through this dark cover, are able to deny so much space, and with 2 frags, likely any chance of a turnaround for this Lance. It'll be the full fallback to see what other openings they can find, that or the fake to re-aggress. And, I mean, that was clean from St. Lawrence, Vincent.
It was. I mean, the good news for MSU is that St. Lawrence actually doesn't have any map control outside of what you would normally expect. They haven't pushed through main. They don't have any mid control. So, at this point, I mean, they're probably going to look to re-aggress, so it's not over. MSU could find those kills. It does feel very bad, though, just getting smacked around through the smoke. And utility setup for these swings means that it's not going to be free. It's not even going to be a real chance to refrag here for Montclair State. Honestly, 25 seconds, I think they're going to end up having to save or just run this down.
I think they're going to see if they can find anything tree, and then that's when they'll run it down. But I was questioning, you know, this aggression here from Kago. Like, they have the numbers advantage. They've been denying the sites, and yeah, it'll catch up with them in the end. But Zortz, I don't think you should have let that cat out of the bag just yet. That would have been a huge surprise factor that you had the Odin. But ultimately, now they'll know the next round. And yeah, Saga, 5 HP she has to save, and that's a third round here for St. Lawrence University.
So are we ever surprised to see an Odin at B with the
Nope.
Sova?
Nope.
You know, like, yeah, you're right, but also, are we really surprised?
I actually saw the most creative thing recently where it was the KJ and the Sova. The Sova darted while the Killjoy was Odining, so they didn't have that reaction time while they're pulling out the Odin. And then they handed it back to them a second later, and then they got like a 3K to close out the map. It was beautiful. So that's
awesome.
that's the only exception to that rule, but I agree with you in that regard. And it's kind of made the buy here really jagged for MSU White.
Yeah, they're off kilter. And, oh, just the early fight out towards tiles. They have support coming through with the smoke on Catwalk. It's all falling apart. Hasty with a refrag, yes, but down at 20 HP. There's just not a lot left for MSU in this round. And they don't even have main control because of this Owl drone coming back through. That's unfortunate.
Right here.
I mean, I was told that Montclair's the proactive one, but looking at St. Lawrence University and how they're playing this defense, they are the ones bringing the fights here to Montclair and winning them out. Unfortunately, Kago, yeah, overheats a little bit and gets punished, but I'd still say they walked away with the advantage this round.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, I mean, just in the pre-show, we were talking about, you know, a little bit concerned for St. Lawrence because it is so important for them to play proactive, to get up ahead and play for information sometimes. And they've done nothing but that and done it very well. I'm impressed to say the least. And they're still grouped up. Look at this. What a wild end to this round. Everybody's in spawn where you buy guns.
Oh my goodness, and a perfect recon as well. Make this round even more unrecoverable. I mean, they basically took my advice about not searching out these fights once number advantage has been established, and they're like, fine, well, I'll stay spawn then and wait for the timer. And that means Montclair is going to have to save for a second round in a row. They're like, we can spare 1 or 2 without the round going haywire. And the fact that Zords gets 2 without even seeing a player.
3,
all right. No, wait, did they? I thought they saw the player tiles.
Oh yeah, they did.
Yeah, okay.
Still, I agree. Impressive to say the least. St. Lawrence, they've come back with a vengeance into this one, despite losing their own map pick. I mean, it's not a surprise to see that this team is ready to play Ascent, because everybody should be pretty ready to play Ascent. Should be. But what I think is a surprise is that their playstyle looks so different. It's like a whole different team, and I don't really understand why. Whatever it is, though, whether it was a pep talk, some coaching, whatever, in between games, I'm loving it.
And I mean, the only difference is I'm guessing Zorts didn't have an Odin on Lonus.
that wasn't there. I didn't see any Odins.
Exactly. So that might be the difference maker. Like we said, momentum, economy favoring you is huge here. But regardless, at least Montclair has found the site. They've popped the null command to try and stall out this retake potential. And I love the forward position from Saga. And the trigger discipline means that they're good for at least 2 if Hasty doesn't steal it away and steal away the glory. And wow, Zorts tries their hardest to get that momentum back in their favor in the round. It's Saga to come away on top and come away with the round again to keep Montclair in contention.
They didn't know that she was here. They didn't know.
No, they did not.
They had no idea that all the gunfire happened at the same time. And so Zorts is swinging there, has no clue. Saga's gotten a kill from that position, and he still didn't know. Oh my goodness. Not gonna see that one every day.
I mean, I feel like that's just Saga, Hasty both getting devious positionings off here for like what really gave them each of those rounds they have on the board. But that's one way to shatter the silence, to be like, yes, you may have gotten the last round, but we'll open it up with another first blood on the board for St. Lawrence University.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be real. That last round coming down to 1v1, it's not like it was a guarantee either. Saga was doing some heavy lifting, as was Hasty. Against that retake, but yeah, I love the change up, trying to get that op into an aggressive position. It's not something we saw a ton of. It was there here and about back on Lotus, but it wasn't really a critical part of the win condition. I feel getting it in such an aggressive position that changes things.
Speaking of an aggressive position, Mr. Cole's able to steal a frag back there with that forward mid kind of capitalization of the alarm bot. positioning. Now that paves the way towards this A site, but if TidGek is there, that is not open for business, and they're even trying to play off of and support Zorts in the situation, and it's worked. 30 seconds left. They're trying to rebound towards B,
30
but
seconds left.
the Killjoy offline, they don't have any indication of that, and NECC, I was about to say, I'm not usually in favor of splitting up in a 2v4-3 situation, but that's one way to convince me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Typically, that's not what you want to do, but sometimes you take a risk and it does work out. In the shadows, that's just going to gather information, not really meant to anything more. We'll buy some time for him to set back up. A good bait setup right here. Of course, should have some idea. Yeah, Mnemonics forced out into the open now. Gonna have to take a fight up against Igdeck. Ooh, who's gonna connect on the run? Saga, he's all alone. Can't hit the first nor the second. It's a quad kill for the Jet. And Zort's on the defuse. That will put St. Lawrence University up to 5.
Very, very well played there from St. Lawrence University. Doing a good job of pinpointing the Montclair rotations, staying together, staying collected there on the rotation to B site. And, I mean, if TidGek is there for every situation, then does it really matter? I mean, they deny the A site, they rotate and open up the B site retake, and they're doing all of that without an operator because Dollar Bill's the one sporting it here.
You don't see all the time, right? I'm a big fan of the idea that realistically, if it's set up correctly, anybody can take the op. It's not a requirement for it to be on a duelist or anything like that. But it isn't often that you see it picked up like on Omen.
I was told by CMoore that they're insane, and while that shot doesn't convince me, the operator maybe will sway me later on, but nice 0 point to punish, so Mnemonics gets the green light into the site off the Blade Storm, and not connecting shots means that Dollar Bill's on an island, and Mnemonics will drown them at C with. So 4v5, they get the site. This is where we might see those ultimates like the Rolling Thunder invested, though, from St. Lawrence University.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. They've got a lockdown. They've got a Hunter's Fury. That's going to go out early. Get a little bit of a spot, not seriously, through the smoke off the back of that Hunter's Fury. And then the planter gets denied as well. Mr. Cools is going to have to go back for more. Lockdown invested. The Blade's still out and ready to go. And op in the back pocket as well for Mnemonics. Mr. Cools swings in, finds a shot, and Hasty as well. It's all going right, but the lockdown is maybe where this goes and does end. Both players get locked in and locked out of that round. Big saving grace, not seriously able to put that investment to good use and recover the op.
I really thought we were on par for a thrifty there, Vincent. I mean, or sorry, I really did thought we were on par for a thrifty. They collect the operator, they leverage the Blade Storm, and it's just a matter of a lockdown expiring that you can't challenge forward. And I think the only reason that I see that happening and still going in favor of St. Lawrence University is exactly what happened a few rounds prior that you pointed out, was they didn't plant the spike soon enough after taking control of B.
Well,
and so
they couldn't. They got hit with the Hunter's Fury. That's what denied the spike.
They still could just plant anti-default or somewhere else, but I agree. I agree. They weren't hit with the Rolling Thunder, you know? So...
hey, that is entirely fair. Hard situation to get it right every time, but you have to try. You have to do that. Okay. TidGek has so much utility coming at them, including a lockdown. As soon as his dark cover just goes away, he might be in trouble. Gotta hit the first shot. First bullet, not going to be the second frag, though. The lockdown finds no one. And there's that spike that you were looking for. Mr. Cools is going to get it down ASAP.
Great owl drone as well to deny Mnemonics the chance to play forward and remedy exactly what I pointed out in the last round, but might not matter if Hasty gets this devious timing off on the lurk through tree. They're going to avoid all of the repercussions of that Rolling Thunder, and when Dollar Bill only has an up, that's going to be some hasty spending. And Saga, the cherry on top, the closeout there, even though they were in line with the Rolling Thunder. That was very well, I feel like, put together of a retake attempt from St. Lawrence University. And Montclair says, nah, better mechanics, you're done.
It wasn't just better mechanics, though. I like their execute. I think the Montclair State, once this execute started, they know all their win conditions, especially with Hasty on this lurk up catwalk. They know the timing's there. And I love to see that. Love to see what's happening. St. Lawrence catching them off guard, getting in and getting in fast.
Blocking sight.
It's been working for them now. Dollar Bill says, all right, Hasty, if you're going to lurk, I'm going to try to as well. On the way towards the flank. I think recognizing they like to have one player stowed away here, B main, and they're going to handle that accordingly with a delivered Omen diff. And now they even support their team with the paranoia to try and force the issue on lane. But look at this, an early Hunter Shiri. More to deny any additional flood in her space, and it's being disrespected by St. Lawrence University. Numbers advantage claimed, and Noah just says, we got to double down. We got to get even more aggressive since Mr. Coles isn't even on site, but it doesn't matter. Their swing out, they're punished, and the defuse and the numbers advantage before the half swap will go in favor of St. Lawrence University.
It feels bad to see Montclair get punished in that way, because I think Mnemonic's decision to go towards spawn there, try to fight aggressively, was actually really good. It just so happens that everybody was collapsing in both of the other positions towards market, towards the site itself, and that was not going to matter because of that. But the idea was good. Again, just missing out on the exit. You should excuse me just a little bit. Montclair State struggling to find any consistency. Notice the round count here. 3 rounds, but nobody, or no time where they've been able to pick up 2 in a row. Just instantly hacked down as soon as they get on the board. They're heading back to the B site. No command to do it. This should get him on site pretty easily.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a beacon in the sky, letting St. Lawrence University know this is a B-side exec, so rotations coming through. Dollar Bill says a flank worked last round. Why not try it again as they ensure nobody is flanking them? So the question will be, can Saga get away with these kind of positionings again, this time from logs? And I mean, so much utility coming in just to deny a re-entry, and Trigger Discipline again working in their favor. No! Tidgag, only a classic shuts them down, but that's really the only frag this team is going to find. Hasty Mnemonics on top of it, forcing KO into a 1v3 and a double swing in 4K from the Jet. Means that they are headed towards that 7-5 they hope to achieve.
When MSU can get into their post plans, they've looked pretty good. It's just getting there has been problematic time and time again. I can't tell you how well Montclair have done when they get into the right positions, but it feels like if they aren't able to get there, if they're made uncomfortable, or if they're interrupted in that process, that's when problems start to arise. And it goes all the way back to the pistol round, remember? That's exactly what happened, where they got the plant got denied, and then it all fell apart. Same situation with the round we were talking about before, where the Hunter's Fury denies the plant. It's tough. Their ability to adjust on the fly is what's lacking.
Yeah. St. Lawrence University hasn't really had to adjust anything. Tidgek has time and time again been this solo A-side hold, and this time, I mean, with all this utility coming in, I'm surprised they survived as long as they did. Hasty finally shutting them down. The Hunter Sherry support comes in late, so site control and the plant gonna be secured here. Again, Mnemonics looks to get aggressive, and again, it's not allowed by that owl drone here from Zortz, so they look to address the other avenue here. Tree, but with a flashpoint, they dismantle the crossfire. They haven't cleared it out. Mr. Cole's in main. Well, you know, one magazine has to reload eventually, giving not seriously the trade in a 1v2, but well-placed paranoia and cross support from Noah. Noah with those shots means that 7-5 half is secured.
Good recovery. I mean, yeah. This could have been far worse for Montclair State. The reality is that the early stage of this game looked, the word hopeless is not fair, but it looked a little hopeless with how well St. Lawrence were putting together, especially those late rounds. Thinking about the round where they were just like all in spawn together, like, I don't know, that just seems so difficult to contend with. But more and more, especially out towards B, they just picked up the pace. Montclair State, they realized that St. Lawrence was giving them some space to work with and allowing them to get on the site, especially if they could use just a little bit of utility to get there. And that was their win condition, is once they got onto the site, their post plants were relatively strong. They just needed to get into them. So with that, Montclair State up onto the defense, where I think, to be fair, this defense can be a little bit easier.
Yeah. Ascent historically defense sided with this meta composition, but Mnemonics has to get that first blood if they want that advantage early on, and they're missing the shot. Here comes the fault line and Paranoia in conjunction to propel the team forward, and no, unfortunately, stripped away of any opportunity. Fortunately, takes one down with them, but that 4-on-4 gives the site, gives the post-point opportunity here.
That was beautiful.
St. Lawrence
from Noah.
University. Yeah.
Just to get out with one, that's job done if you're on the site, if you're committed like that. Just get one frag before you fall down. Everybody clearing out catwalk, making sure that tree flank isn't going to be a problem, and so the retake gets moving. On the open, not seriously, cut to ribbons of Chicago on the trade, trying to find some frags, and it's a wild time on this site, but Hasty up close with the right click is going to get another one, this time with the headshot right into the head of Chicago, as Montclair State find their way through into a pistol victory.
We went at 7-5. That pistol's a great way to ensure that things get tied up sooner rather than later. And I was going to mention Lotus was a 1-for-1 pistol apiece, and so is Ascent. So I was nervous there for a second, right? I mean, the chip damage they were able to find onto Zords, I think, is really the difference maker there, because there really wasn't that form of support from the player in Hell that you would have liked to see. Came a second late. Yes, they get the frag, but ultimately they couldn't hold on when Hasty comes running into the site. So pretty much a save coming through. I like the full Spectre squad minus Mnemonics, who's going to get aggressive here. A main off of that Marshall. We'll see if their victim will be the KJ, but no, it's just a turret to hold down the fort while they explore mid.
We saw some interesting buying decisions towards the early stages of Lotus. It was kind of interesting. A little bit of a back and forth. So I'm a little surprised to see not similar situation being set forth, but considering an anti-eco, okay, what do you mean? Did get just through the wall. I hate that wall is so paper thin. Just feels not fair, especially when it's just a sheriff on the other side.
With that, I mean, not only our numbers even, but they've reaped the rewards of these weapons. And the question is, what can Montclair do to ensure that this round that should have been theirs doesn't fall apart? There's still an opportunity, but right now they're divided. So I need to see Killjoy and Jet looking in the right direction, but they're both gambling here between spawn, and look at that! As the dominoes fall into place, Kago, 19 HP left in a 1v2, doesn't even have information on where the KO is.
30 seconds left.
KO needs to, like, get with the program. I don't know what's taking so long on this rotation. Mr. Coolest is like, dude, I need your help right now. I'm 1 HP. Know where the spike is located.
Goodness. I mean, they don't know where.
Are they DC'd? No.
No. I mean, Mr. Coles doesn't need the help. Mr. Coles doesn't need, yeah, they don't need it. 4 HP, no problem.
Am I crazy?
I think the issue there is that after these frags have been taken, this fight has been won. You don't know what site Kago's going to be going to. So when you have that Killjoy utility as kind of a form of confirmation, then you want that other player to be on the opposite site, because they were taking mid space. They could easily fall back to tree, and when the clock is that far, you want to play down the clock more than anything. But regardless, I mean, it hurts their economy a lot. I mean, this is not the strongest bonus you would want to see, and should be a surefire way for St. Lawrence University to get back on track, to get this round under their belt. And Mnemonics is going to try and play spoiler with that here mid, but I don't think they realize that there's 3 home.
Well, you don't want to take that fight. Not with a Marshall. Even if you have the utility to set it up, it's going to be difficult to actually get any confirmation outside of just a single shot. But I like the slow, methodical approach that St. Lawrence are taking to that mid control. Just taking a moment to get into position.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was a bit of a crazy swing.
I was going to praise them for the tuck, but they don't take that advice. They swing out. It's an easy frag.
Chilling in hell?
Oh, not for long. They're thorough.
It looked good. It looked great, actually, but indeed, thorough on the site clear. Honestly, at this point, Montclair State winning, it would be great, but it's almost out of the realm of possibility. You just need to do some damage. Take some guns out of the hands of St. Lawrence.
I was questioning why Saga was still on the B side after the spike had already gone down as well. Maybe setting up for a lineup, that was the answer. But again, it comes in too late. I think, again, like, just timing and investments have been kind of off in that regard. But now, I mean, you don't even have weapons you should really be saving. I think you just started the spike here, not give those orbs away. And Mr. Coles does not move from this position, which is kind of worrisome for me. I can't tell if they were holding the angle or if they DC'd.
We'll find out in a second, because we've already had some DCs happening.
This is true. I mean, I don't even think I saw their names show up in the kill feed from dying to the spike.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I was confused. Looks like, yeah, there it is. This ping's gone. They buy and then DC. That is so funny. Oh. I mean, that's some highlights from this map so far. Specifically that pistol round as well. I mean, these teams have been going neck and neck here. Such a refreshing view after how dominant Montclair was, and then suddenly St. Lawrence had turned it around.
Yeah,
is that just because this is Ascent?
On the one hand, yeah, maybe, but also, I think that gotta give St. Lawrence a lot of credit here. Like I said, a lot of their struggles on Lotus, I feel like they've addressed into this map. I don't know exactly what they talked about in between maps, but the way that they're taking space, the way that they really put together some defensive rounds, and that they're set up with regard to utility and ultimate usage, like all of those things seem better compared to what we saw then. So as much as this has been closer for a lot of reasons, it could just be Ascent. I think St. Lawrence really need to get some credit there.
No, I agree. I mean, just the micro plays you've been able to set up, you know, inputting inputting, I should say, like dollar bill into these flank plays, not seriously as well. And I think the breach has definitely helped them out in some of these trap plays to flip certain frags in their favor. But look at this. Montclair, the Operator, the Odin, both online in conjunction, and this is where you would expect things to just change for the better. So far, no first blood drawn, but that is not the way you want to start that round.
Yeah, I was just about to say as well that Mnemonics on the Operator, something we really haven't seen a ton of, and a Jet player in Mnemonics that has had some impact moments, but certainly not what you would expect to see. Get into there. Saga could be the savior. First frag is hers, but there's not seriously coming in from B main. It will shut her down. 2 on 3, and the HP is low as well for Hasty. Coming in from CT, or at least was about to. Instead, they're going to route together through mid, which I do like this decision, especially when you're in a man disadvantage.
And they should know that Not Seriously is potentially in B main, since they were the one to backstab Saga. But again, in the first layer of utility, just to buy down the clock, and so many angles for Montclair to clear. It could be something that they forego just for the sake of time, but no, a pop flash out, not connecting means that it's a 1v3 now, and Hasty, as low HP as they are, they're going to opt for the save here, meaning it's going to be a 2-round lead for St. Lawrence University. They're even hunting for this weapon, but no, Hasty's out of there.
Well, I mean, at least there's that to walk away with. Now 9-7 the score line at St. Lawrence. Might not have been able to pick up a pistol, but they have been able to re-solidify their lead after it gets tied right up. Montclair State, they'll take a timeout. I do want to see the op come back, but I want to see support for Mnemonics, right? Just having to take that fight dry doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth, right? Just taking the swing. It's especially not early round. Like, that was just in not quite middle of the round, but after the first 10-15 seconds, it's a gamble, essentially. You're just tossing chips in the middle of the table and putting it all on black.
I mean, not even Mnemonics was alone there, right? I mean, you saw it Saga as well. Maybe it was a choice to play B-main instead of back a side or something of the like, but I agree. I think the buddy system is a great way, especially when you have this double initiator kit, this paranoia to leverage. Like, yeah, Saga, send a recon bolt down mid and then rotate back to the B site, etc. Even, a 0 point there, tiles can allow them to reposition. But regardless, I'm glad that they took this time out, because that was a full investment, a very expensive one, into the Odin and Operator in conjunction. So Now they're back to square one, back to this eco, and I said it, once you're in this economic hole, that's when you need to pull out the creative plays that lie, you know, with the cobwebs in your playbook. Dust them off, bring them out, and it could just save your map pick. So we'll see as this timeout expires if it's exactly what the doctor ordered.
Hasty with a hero rifle. Invested down to 750 creds. And some aggression as well. Mnemonics leading the charge. Just gets a shot off. But this does force St. Lawrence to play a little bit more passively towards this position. Right? Or if they're not going to play passively, they want to re-clear it, they're probably going to have to use utility to re-clear. And that's a good thing. I think that Montclair State, off the back of that timeout, this is an adjustment that I can get behind.
Mm-hmm. I did like that joint aggression there, A main, just for confirmation, but I mean, the response from St. Lawrence University is picture perfect as well. They're like, all right, they're pressuring A main. We abandon all hopes there, and we pressure the weaker point, which has to be tree. They're even going to aggress forward. The trigger discipline might not work if you're full blinded, though. So Saga just falls, and they're more just the Lambda Slaughter trying to hide for Mnemonics here. Who was able to pop one, looks for a second, but the shots don't align, and that weapon's going to be hard to collect here with Kago holding down such a hasty angle, and that's dangerous too. I mean, they see that on the minimap, they can spray down from heaven with that hero rifle.
The flank to the flanker.
Oh, this could be a free weapon.
Yeah, coming in right behind, not seriously. It's so easy. And the shot coming in from Mnemonics as well. Mnemonics for 3. And Montclair State University. It's a hero rifle and a hero by the name of Mnemonics on the Sheriff. Get that round and pick up a thrifty.
I'm saluting Saga for their sacrifice here, letting Mnemonics lie and wait undetected, because that's essentially what gets them the round here. I mean, even that is perfect from Noah, ensuring that Not Seriously isn't that linchpin, because even if they win those fights on site, they can just come in and mow the remainders down. So the ship righted coming out of the timeout. You've even forced some lighter buys from the members on the side of St. Lawrence University. We're going to see those blades potentially popped as well from NECC. We'll see if they can find anything on this mid expedition. But this is a good look from Montclair. This is an important round, though, to ensure that they don't let that thrifty go in vain.
Yeah, the travesty would be for it to go to waste on that. I was about to say it would have been a problem if Hasty stuck around in pizza, but instead gets out. Here's the owl drone and knows that his time is up in that position. Rene doesn't actually catch anyone.
I don't like the paranoia.
All the way through.
Spike down mid.
Okay, I take it back. That's why the paranoia went out. I'm like, there's nobody there to punish off of it, but it's because it was all a distraction, all a ruse for this flank. The double stack here top mid, so now they're pinched. Now they're forced to fight into this double stack on B.
Spikes
And
down
they say no thank you.
Not exactly recoverable. Saga, she's still got positioning. Oh, what a
Fall back.
fantastic flash.
Overstayed your welcome.
And Saga, understanding exactly what you're saying, just trying to maintain information on that spike, does get it with the jump spot.
And it has been collected. There's the further validation to inform the team of where these players could be headed. And spawn to A would be the best opportunity, but look at that sliver of an angle
Seconds left.
being held by the Killjoy. To ensure this isn't a spawn to B. It seems like they're playing more for a retake towards the A site. My only concern here is that number one, Saga can regroup in A main to deny, and number two, that could completely get shattered by this lurk from Not Seriously.
Saga's position, though, is fully known, especially with that recon bolt. That'll give confirmation. That's massive.
Huge.
Yeah, Not Seriously being found out.
You have to win this duel, though.
It would have been such a dangerous rotation otherwise, but you're right. This duel is key, and Not Seriously is taking it. Will be traded. Gotta get a move on, though. The speed is absolutely required for MSU.
I don't know how I feel about this. A forward challenge in a heaven alone. Looks like maybe they were joined here by Kago, but yeah, there it is. Okay, they're both there. Now it's not a good decision. They flipped the map.
The 0 point might have caught the breach.
Not utility.
Last player
On both
standing.
sides is clean, but Mr. Coles is cleaner. Gonna ensure
That's
that
close.
just barely
Really?
they can get the defuse. Yeah.
Swarm grenade out.
If they had waited like a second longer for that aftershock, or if that Molly hadn't just shredded the Jet hadn't shredded to get, that could have been a very different outcome. But regardless, we're tied now, 9-9, Vincent.
I'm really interested to know what the call there was from Montclair State. I want to know how they knew both were up heaven. I don't know if the breach got caught by the 0 point.
I don't think they did.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but either way, like, I feel like they definitely could have been in main. There must have been some sort of call, some bit of utility that we didn't quite catch, but it was so well played from Montclair. Find the game right back up. It's those small things, right? Those little reads that make the difference. As hey, Lawrence, maybe they got something in the back pocket or ults this round.
Oh, well.
DA sight.
Gek, I'm glad you didn't get punished from getting ulted by your own teammate, but it seems like that was also read by Montclair, right? I mean, they're fighting really deep back here from heaven. They basically vacated the site so nobody was around to witness the round rumbling. And now, from the shadows as well, to reinforce the rotation, I'm expecting to see a lockdown this round. I mean, only thing is, there is a Hunter's Fury to counter it.
And another lockdown as well. They get activated almost at the same time, but Mnemonics snuck right back in.
No Hunter's Fury?
Apparently not. Okay.
That's why.
Just taking the space. Gonna get locked down though. I don't know if this is worth it. They're hanging onto the Hunter's Fury in order to wait for the
That's
counter, but
huge!
it's a 0 point. Or now the null command instead. They can't use the Hunter's Fury. No space. They're on the defuse. Not seriously. We'll get the first shot as Zortz comes around the corner. They've got them all. Montclair State fall apart as St. Lawrence. They've done it.
That round was insane. I mean, both teams thinking they had the perfect counters for each other. I mean, the aggression from Tidgek to try and deny the lockdown, knowing that they were going to save their own Hunter's Fury for the post plant instead of the denial. And then the no command as well had to come out last second from Noah to deny the Hunter's Fury. And all of those reads, all of that investment is ruined by one man, Zortz, who insane target swaps. Got the first double digits reached for St. Lawrence University. Oh, get the weapon?
Yeah, somebody's got to stop Mnemonics in that position, to be honest with you. Just keeps going back and keeps finding success. Noah?
Oh.
Watch out!
Okay, they got a fragment. They got a stinger as well. This weapon continues to amaze me. Please nerf the stinger again. Again! We saw them do this before. It was Saga and Mnemonics. This round again, Mnemonics still good for another. So numbers advantage in favor of Montclair. Question is, Hasty, they don't have a weapon. Can they hold on to this B-site long enough for the re-rotation from Saga, from their Killjoy? And so far, they have.
The recon bolt gonna give clear information that this is still gonna be a push up mid, in and through.
Ouch.
What? Alright, that's not the range at which that's gonna work, but the paranoia does catch more. Hasty gets 2, and now it's Dollar Bill who's got to make a play.
30 seconds left.
Another from the shadows to grab back the spike, but thinks better of it.
We're gonna get closer to a site here. I mean, they knew the recon bolt came from spawn. They knew that that insane frag play from Hasty came from the jump upstairs from mid-market, and this is the perfect play here. 15 seconds, expecting a number. I don't think they heard that both players had shot the shadow. The plant money at least secured here. Nobody had what? There's no time left. What are you doing?
Oh man.
That's the realization that you've messed up, dollar bill. And it's double digits tied.
It's so unfortunate because what a crucial error around hey, listen, it was a 1v2. Let's not pretend it was a guarantee, but it could have been theirs.
Yeah.
And now the tied game at 10-10. Oh no. $100 bills is going to be having nightmares of that one tonight. It's a moment that could have been instead what could be.
All right. Jump into the next round. In that round, not only they cost the win, but the economy is still brutal. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it was Nico for Montclair, so they're in a comfortable position here to deny this entry and Killjoy utility in place. Confirmation already that they haven't pushed out yet. We saw the Blades be a difference maker prior. If they get to plant, they could be a late round fallback, but that requires them taking the site in the first place.
Getting here with all the Killjoy utility, it's not as simple as just walk out. That does help.
Now it is.
Yeah.
Not land, but...
Yeah, but you can get out now without any confirmation, at least not without somebody taking a peek, a little bit of a swing. It's the split. Looking for it. Hasty.
Ouch.
Lucky to get out of there alive.
TigX still trying to apply pressure here with alongside that funnel in from Market, but Saga, Mr. Cool is handling it. And while they're too worried about CT, they haven't handled the Killjoy on site, and the reload comes through, but the shots do not follow, leaving Kago in a 1v4 that they cannot deliver on. So Montclair have taken back over this lead.
Down B. 30 seconds.
I'm not
left.
exactly
One enemy
certain,
remaining.
but I don't know what the econ looks like here for St. Lawrence. I don't know if we can get a peek at the scoreboard real fast, but yeah, I don't know that it's very good. St. Lawrence will take a timeout on the back of that. The good news is they have the Blade Storm. They have the Hunter's Fury. That is good news. Yeah, okay. It's not terrible. Especially with the Blade Storm, they can make this work. Even without it, it's not a bad buy. Not even in the
agree.
slightest. But what's even worse, though, is if for example, St. Lawrence lose this round, I think this is why they're taking a timeout. Their money is cooked. They really are in trouble, and that would be up against Map and Serious Point.
I think that's why TigX is buying here right now, at least. From what we see with the snapshot of the pause, the timeout. Just so that they can fall back on the Blades next round, if all hope is gone, right? So...
Plus you have it just in the back pocket if you do need it this round, you know. Always good to have that. Doesn't give it away if you're, hitting it early on. I think that can give an indication to the opposition that they should expect something wild, something wacky.
And I mean, Mnemonics, we wanted to see them shine on the operator. Fortunately, it's posted up on the wrong angle because it's an interest towards the A site potential. I was going to say a split play, but it's more just a respect to the 0 point that they're trying to still, I think, lurk there by having not seriously get picked up by it. Because the Killjoy typically has played alone. Fortunately, though, team's there. Mr. Cole's on the off angle. Oh, this will be a huge first blood, but narrowly avoided, and gonna be the pop still, and that turret's not enough to protect you.
Big miss there from Mr. Cools. Had the opportunity. Doesn't quite get it off. Hunter's Fury. Still available. And still a possibility. Has even more Killjoy utility set this time in defense of the spike instead of defending against the attack. It's Mnemonic. Sam Angle has been doing the Lord's work right here. Even get more done. Noah on towards the site with Hasty in tow. Just that Hunter's Fury play defense. They're going to get the first tap towards it. That's one tag, but nothing further. Still plenty of time.
And they have shock darts.
Player standing.
But the operator protection is insane here. With them getting it half, Hasty gets to defuse, and Montclair gets map and series point here in Emergence Week 6. I mean, look at how back and forth this matchup has been, and maybe having the lead at the half, I was gonna say is a curse, but I mean, 7-5 this time, falling apart again. If St. Lawrence comes back and goes to OT and then wins,
I mean,
both of these they're both toying with us at that point. Like, where's the hidden camera in my room?
we're actually on a reality show.
Get out of my way.
Mnemonics is elsewhere, though. He's been over an A so many
Oh,
times!
no!
And the paranoia to drive them back. Still more space, but Mnemonics understands, hey, we've got the opening pick. This is something to hang on to.
There's those Blades we mentioned last round. Could be the difference maker to keep them alive in this series. But I mean, Mnemonics was there at B main last round and just didn't get an opportunity. And I love how they played the retake with the operator, so I'm glad that they stay alive here for the rotation to A that St. Lawrence University is trying to stage, but they want more frags and it'll cost them Chicago, so no more initiation utility, at least in the form of the fault line or the flashpoints. And numbers still ever so dwindling alongside the timer.
Important that St. Lawrence pick up that trade frag. So at the very least, you cut the op out of the round, or at least the jet wielding it. It's currently being juggled. I don't know actually who grabbed it. But it looks like Sova may have picked it up.
Well,
It's going to end up being a B hit.
They're not going to use it though. They just don't want to give it.
Another dark cover. 30 seconds? This is
30
is
seconds
awful.
left.
Hastio! Zaga gets the trade, and that's a terrible strategy. Stefan!
Down B.
NECC has to deliver the world 2v1. They've grouped up markets, so not taking any chances. With 15 seconds left, they'll at least be able to secure the plant. Unless they have the lineups from who knows
Oh,
where.
the 0! The 0 point's beautiful!
Oh my goodness. But they don't know. Insane flash, a swing deeper into the side. And just like that, we are done. 2-0 fashion Montclair State University. White is going to take our series for emergence. Week 6 of the Northeast B group. What a game, Vincent.
I mean, just absurd, right? The incredible early start that Montclair had into the comeback trail.